Yo, what it is, what it do. You know who it is. Forget all of that. I didn't wear a hat today.
Nobody's you. Nobody's you. Nobody's
you. Know what I'm saying? Nobody, listen. Nobody's Mr. Maneuvers, but listen. In his absence, I will do my best to be able to pass along this intro. This is the 22 Twos. We're back again with another episode of Shoot Your Shot. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot happen this weekend with NBA All-Star Weekend. We got a lot to get into from top to bottom, from the rookie sophomore to the dunk contest, to the skills challenge, to the actual games that were played in the newest format. So, without further ado, again, with my sharp hairline, I pass it along to you, FJB. Let's go.
I missed Jalen Rose hairline, probably paying $1.50 but there is so much to discuss. I feel like the best way to do it is to just go chronological order. We're going to start from Friday, Rising Stars Challenge. Of course, new format, very similar to how they did the All-Star game with the different teams, smaller tournament style. From the basis and the foundation, and I love the concept because it's tournament style. It's smaller rostered teams. You're not out there playing for 4 quarters where you're lollygagging for 3.5 just to see if it's close. You know, at the back half of the 4th quarter, so that you can be competitive and play a little bit more defense. You know, we talk about it all the time. They talk about it on the media. These players play harder in LA Fitness and the UCLA runs, the legendary UCLA runs that happen over the summer. Like, you guys are professional basketball players. You got to be able to come out here and get
Drew
League, Nike Pro City in New York, up at the Rucker, Washington Heights. You know, there's so many different tournaments that happen in the summer that these players put a better effort forward for. Of course, we know you're not trying to get injured because the bread and butter is for your franchise, your home franchise, regular season playoffs, trying to win that Larry O'Brien. However, definitely want to see some more effort, and this is what the fans have been clamoring for years. How can we make the players care, right? We talked about switching formats. We went from East versus West to picking 2 captains and having them draft teams, you know, to have a little bit more pride in that aspect. You know, now we're doing this tournament style, like every little thing, just so that, like, so players, when you say it sucks and this is that, you're not trying to get hurt. I hope we can all understand it starts with you. It starts with you, because if the effort was there, the fans would get to see competition on Sunday from players that they regularly like to see during the regular season on the same team that, you know, might not ever play together in their career. So, Rising Stars Challenge, definitely cool vibes. All-Star Celebrity Game, you know, that I used to watch that faithfully as a kid. You know, my teenage years, 13, 14, 15, I will always watch because I used to hear shit about, like, Bow Wow and Chris Brown and Lil Romeo and these guys who were my age, but in the limelight, also being able to hoop. So I used to always tune in on Friday night, like, let me see if they could hoop, like, because we all do it. We size people up all the time. Can I take them? Can I go at them 1v1?
Pause.
You know, pause.
Somebody's gonna get slipping. It's all good.
But, you know, so I always tap into that, you know, and I do also have to recognize that, you know, we're all getting a little bit older. So a lot of the people in that celebrity game, you know, I'm not familiar with what you do. Like,
True.
There's the meme the Breakfast Club is like, yo, who these dudes over here? Like, who are they? I don't know who they are.
Who are you?
Outside of Drewski, bro, and
listen. I mean, I did appreciate, you know, I saw Baron Davis out there. Shout out Rakia Jackson. I saw her out there. T.O., how old is T.O.? Like, isn't he like 50?
Hooping out there. He was getting buckets.
Super athletic. You know, Kai Cenat, you know, made a mess, went out there and just did whatever he could do to, you know, for the comedy.
Started
but,
throwing them up, bro, and nothing was falling. Same thing with Drewski. Drewski was on the outside, the same spot.
Drewski did hit a 3, though.
Yeah, whole time. He made the one. He made rattling that one.
So, you know, always a fun time. I try to say, you know, that's for the younger crowd. I'm sure they knew who everyone who was playing was. Sure. So, you know, it's typically like it's background TV for me on a Friday night. You know, I take pop in every once in a while before the Rising Stars game, which, you know, definitely more competitive. Love that tournament style. You know, there was, you know, even in the final game,
Thompson brothers,
Thompson brothers. And then in the final game, you had the G Leaguers. And I'm just like,
Shout out to the G League,
they probably really want to play on Sunday. So yes, no one's going to try to get hurt, but I'm like, they're really going to try to win this game. So it was awesome to just see that competitive nature. It felt like you were, in the gym up the block watching them just work out, try to get better on the game. Definitely felt like that. But then we move on to Saturday. And of course, we start with the skills challenge, and we think it's going to be, really competitive. And how does it start? Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul pulling off that bullshit. I'm like,
real quick, FJB. Chris Paul, and that shit shows what kind of a tactician Chris Paul is, right? Because of the Players Association. Homeboy turned around and looked at the rule book and said, we don't have to fucking shoot.
Shoot, yeah.
We do not have to shoot. We have to attempt.
You can't tell me what an attempt
but
looks like.
I do not have to shoot. Exactly. So guess what they did? Womp, 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 just to get the time down, right? Mm-hmm. And then everybody's like, nah, you can't do that. You got to shoot, right? And they disqualified them. What I would have liked to see, is them attempt again, with the shots. Yeah. I think it was kind of messed up that they disqualified them because the attempts were to save time. It wasn't to defraud the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Darnell, even with that being said, like, I feel like the problem with that is now no one who is correctly going through each stage can ever beat that. They're literally throwing the balls up, pause, and every subsequent team would have to do that to even try to match that time. Like, the only way you could beat them is make sure all your passes go through the little circle.
Perfect every time. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, they got disqualified because they set a bad precedent. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I feel like had they went last, maybe they don't get disqualified. But they get a warning, like, you're gonna move on to the final, but you can't do that bullshit. Oh man. So it was interesting to see. Skills challenge is usually like whatever to me. We know these guys are skilled. You got bigs out there passing. I think that Team Big won it once with like Cat and probably like Boogie Cousins. So it's like,
I remember that.
Yeah. All these guys could dribble, pass, and shoot now. So it's just it's for the kids. Like we also we definitely have to do a better job of putting All-Star Weekend into perspective and understanding the audience of the different challenges and stuff.
But FJB, it's like like you just pointed out, you hit the nail right on the head. The skills of the bigs now, it's like, I'm not impressed that, someone over 6'7" like Wembanyama could throw 5 back-to-back bounce passes
through the
that's 15 feet away. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's easy work. So now when we look at it, we're less impressed. What they'll be able to do. Maybe they revamp and look at the skills challenge and see
but that just even speaks to it. You know what I'm saying? Like how the level of NBA skill has just increased, like
elevated
throughout. It's huge. You think about it. Maybe who knows? Like I remember years ago, Shaq had a clip when Shaq dribbled all the way down. Like he got the rebound and he dribbled the whole way down the court. You know what I mean? And we'd be like, I never thought.
Mind blown, bro.
Yeah, mind blown. And he started going tween against Yao Ming.
And you forget that these guys could really hoop. Like these guys could play. They just, that position is just limited them to just be that one person. But if you think about it, how the NBA has started going to positionless basketball, we are seeing the resurgence of the big man and the whole aspect of their game coming to focus. And this is something too, because we know Wemby could play. If you watch it back when he was playing in Paris, he's got it. Like putting him on full front now. Like I said, the good thing is they kind of know exactly what the deal is. But I'm gonna go back to it. It's for the kids. You know what I mean? Like that's something that kids will aspire to. And motivate them to say, like, hey, I could be that good. I could learn to be like that. So that's what I see the skill challenge as. It's a fun thing. It's something to kind of have the complete and total festivities of the NBA on full display. And that's all you want to do. Just have fun. People are spending a lot of, like you got to be real, man. Like the NBA gets a lot of money on that one weekend. Like not Super Bowl money, but it's a pretty significant amount.
Oh yeah,
coming in for that,
dude. I went to LA for 2018 All-Star Game, and I looked up the tickets to go inside the Staples Center on Sunday. I went to the Rising Stars game on Friday, and I looked at the tickets for the All-Star Game, and I was just like, nah, there ain't no way.
This was 18, right?
Right, 2018.
Right?
How much? Like two?
They were like a stack to get in the building.
Wow, man, wow, damn.
Yeah. And I was just like, bro, why no way? Why? You going up and sit next to the jerseys? Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool on that, bro. I'm cool on that. But of course, the one thing they had, I think the skill challenge probably replaced it, or they just took it out altogether. They had the shooting stars challenge where they would shoot on the different spots on the court.
Yeah, like horse. Yeah.
Right, and then they would have to finish with a half court shot. And it used to be teams of three, usually like a former NBA player, current NBA player, and then like a WNBA player. So little things like that, you can mix it up. If you do skill challenge this year, maybe do shooting stars, next year, so on and so forth. But moving on to the 3-point competition, a lot of folks, including myself, said that's essentially like the best event of the weekend for the past couple years since the dunk contest took a dip. Shout out Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, who put on a magical performance. Arguably the best dunk contest of all time when you consider both individuals with insane, super original dunks. That
the best dunk contest in the 10s.
Yeah, they didn't by far.
The best dunk contest in the 10s.
Listen, it's a top 3 dunk contest all time, and it ain't 3. But so 3-point contest. A lot of the dudes. I'm a betting man, so I started looking at the lines for a lot of these dudes, and the 3-point contest is about essentially like catch and shoot. If you're a scoring machine and you hit 4 threes a game, that doesn't necessarily mean you're 3-point contest material. So guys like Cade Cunningham, and even our beloved Jalen Brunson, who is a monster. I just wasn't sure the 3-point contest would
not
be
his thing, man.
Yeah, like more. I thought of more quick trigger dudes like a Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, who get it up fast. Pause. Can get it going because that's what you need, right? And then of course Damian Lillard, who is a former 3-point contest winner, who has the range, especially for the 3-point additional starry balls there. But guys, what do you think about the 3-point contest? Do we need to? One could say that the field this year wasn't comprised of the best shooters or like the names we would typically see. Did they get it right?
I mean, they you first, Donnell. Go ahead.
I mean, this is something that the NBA is always been like as of, I mean, how many years ago? You're running into this weird thing where it's like you got these NBA players, these giants of men that are like very highly skilled at these positions. And it's like you have a chance to showcase how good you really are, and you don't want to me, like if I'm Adam Silver. Yeah, as I said, if I'm Adam Silver, I'm going on the list. Listen, the top 5 in 3-point shooting.
Like y'all in here.
You're in here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. No, you have. But
it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. But I appreciate the theory, the concept.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, hey, we want you guys to come out here. Like, I don't know. I'll save my take for the NBA. The All-Star game and everything like that.
No, I'm with you.
Another thing, with Sean, I know you're saying like it won't work because you can't force them to do it, right? But I think from a personnel perspective, we're also in this weird space where a lot of the great 3-point shooters that we know have already done it and won it. When you think of Damian Lillard, you think of Steph Curry, you think of Klay Thompson. So I'm now trying to think of like who are the up and coming insane shooters, and it's just like I don't know. Like all the shooters we know are like that we would think of off the top are in their 30s. Like they're closer to retirement than they are to winning, like their first championship.
To the end in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's a little tough.
Yeah.
But I feel like the 3-point shooting contest is watered down because you can take more than your handful of guys that shoot over 40% from range because there's so many people who shoot it from range.
Shoot it. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, who do you really identify as the actual shooters versus the guys that are like you mentioned, FJB, in-game shooters that can put it up and still shoot at a high percentage because they're in rhythm. Like playing from a rack versus playing in-game is completely different.
Bro. I've done it before at an amusement park, and I was like, oh,
it's
shit.
tough.
Like I almost didn't get all the shots off before the clock expired. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because you're going from left, if you're a lefty, you're likely going from left to pop. And if you're coming from the right, you're going from the right to pop. You know what I'm saying? It's not a natural shooting position. So it's very difficult for guys like you mentioned if they're not able to get the practice in for them to be able to get the shots up. But you can see for certain guys that are set shooters, it's not a problem. Buddy Hield lit it up. Dame Lillard, because he shoots from range, he is a pure shooter.
He's a sniper,
He's well regarded as a pure shooter around the NBA. He is somebody who does not have a problem putting up the ball from anywhere on the court, right? And then you have Tyler Hero, where we know what he do. So it wasn't a surprise to see those guys. Cade Cunningham, he had no business being in that 3-point shooting competition.
Absolutely not. This guy
was building a house.
There's a guy literally on his team, Malik Beasley, who I would have put over Cade Cunningham. Shoots the lights out of that thing. So it's like, but I do think Malik Beasley has participated in a contest before. I don't know if the NBA limits you, on your amount of invites to participate.
Not team participants though. I don't think. Because I think teammates can participate in it as well.
Teammates can participate. But, that's the thing. I feel like, I don't know, and I got to go back and look at previous rosters, but, I feel like you had, the Peja Stojakovic's and stuff like that, Dirk Nowitzki. You had snipers in this thing. And I feel like they just put scorers in this one, not necessarily shooters. So when I looked at the field, and I'm like even a Darius Garland, right, who, shout out to him, made the final. He's an in-game sniper. But it doesn't necessarily strike me as nah, this dude is
you can shoot,
lights out.
Laser focused knockdown.
Yeah. So I think we got to do a better job of that personnel, that participation.
But you have to remember too that qualifiers include your shooting percentage from three.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You have to be able to shoot.
So it kind of is what it is to an extent. Yeah. So of course, and then we cap off the night with the starry dunk contest now, right? Because it ain't even sponsored by Sprite no more. But of course,
spot, man.
Shout out Mac McClung, man, coming from the G League, three-peating in the dunk contest. Every dunk insane and unique. I remember Blake Griffin's dunk contest participation where he jumped over the Kia, and it then became. He didn't even jump over the car. He jumped over the hood. And I'm like, can you jump over a hood? Because that's still insane.
Remember that Kobe commercial?
Where he jumped over the car?
And it's just these players are so talented. We often forget that and we minimize the accomplishment, right? And it's just you can't do that. So in this case, Mac McClung jumped over the body of the vehicle cleanly and reversed it. I was just how do you do this at the beginning of the night? Not even the send off.
He's trying to finish it.
This dude,
and how tall is McClung? Is 6'4", right?
Yeah, I think at best he's 6'4". He might be 6'2".
6'3".
He might be 6'2", 6'3". But Mac McClung is testament to the creativity still being there. You can be creative, and I think that's the problem. One, people aren't creative. They're in-game dunkers because they can drive down the lane and flush it on you, a la Ja Morant, a la Anthony Edwards. But when it comes to dunk contests, doing tricks, get that pizzazz, get the crowd involved, get props, maybe they may be lacking that. Listen, you got money, hire a team. They can get it together. They know what your hops are with all these analytics. It'll be a 40-inch vert. You'll be up there for 1.8 seconds. You could probably do this. It's possible.
JB, I got it, right? Here's what it is. Dunk contest. NBA, you listening? I want my royalties later. Instead of having players freestyle the dunks that they want, have a Vegas style slot machine that you can pull where they'll turn around and they'll do whatever dunk comes up until the final round, when then they can do their freestyle dunk at the end.
The only thing with that is
some guys,
if they do that, I don't think the audience should be allowed to see what the dunk is, because a lot of what makes the dunk contest great is the element of surprise. What is he going to do? When Vince stuck his arm in the rim, everybody was like, oh, that looks like a roll. Oh, my God, it's not a regular dunk. His arm is in the ring.
Inside of the rim.
Holy shit. So when you see the car coming out from Mac McClung, you're like, wait, what is he going to do? You see the guy coming out on the hoverboard, like Aaron Gordon, and you're like, wait a minute, what are we about? And then you know,
but you see, this is why great minds think alike, right? Because look, you took an idea that I came up with and remixed it and made it better. What are they thinking? You know, hit the slot machine, you see the dunk, okay, I'm gonna bust this shit real quick. Yeah. And then boom, you just blow the crowd's mind with whatever it is comes up, and then you flip the card, and you show them exactly what the dunk should have been.
So that you know, that's an option, you know, and of course shout out Stephon Castle because he put in work. His dunks were, he can fly. I watched him, you know, during the competitions this weekend. Boy was moving. He's gonna be like that. He's gonna be like that, you know, like them at UConn.
Hey, that team they got, they
got a bunch of young killers over there. Watch out. Watch out.
But I like that dunk with the basket that went through the hoop, and then
you know how hard that is. The timing of that is.
Listen, bro.
So
and his head and his eyes were parallel
to the yeah. So shout out Stephon Castle and Mac McClung, but you know the second, you know, reason why, you know, this has fallen off is the names, right? Like you got Matas, you know, from the Bulls, you got Andre Jackson from the Bucks, and it's just like these are not household names. We're used to seeing at least 2 or 3 household names and then like another high flyer, right? And we could get jiggy with that, but you know, after the dunk contest, I saw a Ja tweet, Mac McClung might get me in here. And then Giannis retweeted him and said, yo, I'll do it if you do it. And I want to say there was a third person that also tweeted them and was like, yo, let's get it. But like, I appreciate the energy, but it's giving me LeBron James 2005 vibe.
Exactly.
LeBron James, I'm going to pencil my name in for next year, and then just glossed it. Like, well,
you gotta
come on, son. Yeah, that was a big moment right there because I remember him being on there with that yellow, which I thought was like an express sweater because it had that big ass lion on the patch. And I'm just like, he's like, you know, preliminarily entering my name into the net, and I'm just like, oh, we get LeBron next year, and then crickets,
and it goes back to it, right? And it's like, it's kind of the elephant in the room. It's a point where a lot of these guys, and LeBron still, it's like, and that's the thing I think most people don't like about LeBron. He selectively chooses his time when he's going to be the voice of the NBA and when he's going to be the voice of reason, and he just always picks those times. But it's like, hey man, they needed you right here. Like, I'm saying, like, bro, I don't want you talking about how you reading a book on you know, doing the NBA finals, or how you grew up seeing every single NBA player play and all this other crap that he be talking. Bro, just go compete in the dunk contest. Like, it's very easy.
Give the people what they want to see.
Just give them what they want.
Just give the people what they want to see, and also don't cheat the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have your forefathers that were in the dunk contest who were athletically inclined.
Everybody
stepped into the arena and flexed and won that trophy and never did it again.
This was,
you know what I'm saying?
It was his chance, bro. That was LeBron's Jordan and Kobe moment.
Yeah.
And Darnell, another thing. This is the reason why people blame LeBron James for the decline of the skills of everything pertaining to All-Star Weekend and the dunk contest. And the dunk contest.
It was mostly the dunk contest because you're used to having the face of the league, especially being athletic. Participate, bro. LeBron could have went in there, and I've seen him do this. But LeBron could have done the free throw line dunk and won the dunk contest. Like, and that's all we wanted to see, right? Because we've seen him do crazy stuff in game, you know, and you know, to his defense, you know, at this point it's over. Like, this should have been done 15 years ago. You know, not even. He's been in the league so long. But 17, FJB, 18 years ago.
You know what the worst part about it is, FJB? We watch him during warm-ups do some of the craziest dunks you would ever see. And it's like spiting the NBA and spiting fans because it's like, we want to see you do this. We need to see you do this so that we can continue to carry on the legacy, so you can set an example for the younger guys behind you, so the Anthony Edwards of the world and the John Morants don't think twice about entering the competition. And what do? No, thank you.
No thanks. And that's and that's the difference between, our forefathers and, the current generation is everything scrutinized on social media. So, there is an element of this of, LeBron doesn't win the dunk contest and now he can never be better than Jordan because Jordan won and Kobe won and he could never reach that echelon. We're living in an age where everything is there's an immediate critique of everything and every moment. And that leads me to another thing, before we get into the All-Star festivities on Sunday, but what we've been clamoring for years as fans is, hey, they don't want to do this. Give us a 1v1 tournament. We would love to see a 1v1 tournament. Yeah. Shout out to the Unrivaled League. The ladies over there got it done. They just completed their 1v1 tournament. I watched it. Shout out Nafisa Collier for winning. That tournament was electric. I loved seeing it. 7-second shot clock. They got guys on both wings when you get a rebound too that you got an outlet. Chef's kiss of a tournament. And
three dribbles or just shot
just 7 seconds. 7 seconds. So whatever move you got to do to get your shot off, you got 7 seconds to shoot it. So that speeds up the process. You're not out there lollygagging and trying to do 17 moves. You're bringing out your best shit.
You got to get to it.
Right, you got to get to it. So because that shot got to get off. Lovely tournament. And why I don't understand how the NBA couldn't have done this for so many years. It goes back to my social media point. Like, imagine Kyrie Irving making someone touch earth, stepping back and hitting a 3 per game. That's going to be a meme. It's going to go viral. It's going to do this. And I truly feel that a lot of these players don't want that kind of exposure. And it's like they don't want the smoke. And we just saw the ladies do it. We just
watched Kyrie,
bro.
Kyrie said that he would love the idea of doing it. I posted it on the 22 story today.
This goes back to what we were just talking about is you got to get the who's who to be playing in that thing, right? The Unrivaled League had them. Bro, Breanna Stewart got zipped up by Aaliyah Edwards. 12-0. 0. Like, I don't even that's probably the equivalent to like it's in the league. That's probably the equivalent to like a Kevin Durant getting zipped up by somebody.
I need
like an Amen Thompson.
I need to watch that. That's crazy.
It's really good. It's really good, but it's just like
Aaliyah Edwards got held to donut.
No, Aaliyah Edwards held Breanna Stewart to donut.
She held Breanna Stewart to donut.
Yes, eliminated her.
Wow.
And I was just like, yo, this is the smoke in the competition that I want. That's what I'm saying. You'll get the younger guys who really want to go at their rivals or idols or whatever, and they're gonna go like, bro. The games were to 11 points.
Yeah.
First to 11, 3s and 2s. So it's just like, yo, we can make that go so smooth over the course of All-Star Weekend. Like, I would love, can you imagine Kyrie, KD, Bron, Steph, Dame, like all in this competition?
But you know what? Do it during the daytime though.
Whatever.
Don't do it at night.
Don't do it ever.
For me, I'm like, don't do it at night because it's like, there's more eyes. I don't know. I would love to see that. But are they willing to
prime
do that?
Prime time is good, bro. Nah, prime time is good. You have that slot. You have the weekend. Not during the day. Prime time is the slot.
Do it, bro.
So
get it done.
So are you dumping the skills challenge for that?
Hell yeah!
That'll yeah.
Bro, that's not even a question.
Get it out of here, son.
Yeah. That's not even a question.
That's throwback NBA Live 2000 vibes, man. I remember that when they first started doing that on the blacktop. You know what I mean? That was dope.
Listen, so that's an idea, and then of course we're gonna move on to Sunday, and we were just talking about this earlier. It always starts with the players, right? You're trying a new format. You have Stephen Curry on the broadcast being interviewed saying he spoke with Adam Silver directly, being that the All-Star game is at the Chase Center in the Bay Area, Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors hometown. Steph was like, I think this little, gave his opinion and helped formulate, this new All-Star format. And then his teammate Draymond Green is on TNT national broadcast on All-Star pregame. Yeah. This shit is whack. This formula's ass. Steph is good at basketball, but he sucks at ideas. And how can you trash the product that you're trying to build? Please. And that's the conflict of interest, right? Because Draymond's an NBA player, but on Sunday night he's a TNT employee, right? So it's just like, What are we doing here? We have enough guys at ESPN, TNT, Fox Sports with their own pods to do that. We don't need you going on there. You could have had a conversation with Adam Silver and Steph Curry and whatever Players Association behind the curtain and express all of these grievances. You didn't have to air it out the way you did. You could have just been like, I'm not sure how this will go. You know, it always boils down to the players playing hard. We will see. Period. The man called it trash before it even started.
Yeah. To your point, he has a platform to offer his personal opinion on the product.
The Draymond Green show.
You know what I'm saying?
His stupidity, yes.
You have a platform to be able to air your grievances, but for the moment, you're trying to attract viewers. You're trying to bring people in, draw them in closer to the game, not shoot it down. Like what did I say? It's like, you know, a new jet getting ready to take off, and he's like, I'm gonna shoot this bitch down. Yeah, like, bow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make any sense. I do understand what he meant though when he was mentioning how sacred the All-Star floor is, how you earn that opportunity.
I agree. Then
to have, you know, guys,
the rising stars and stuff come play on Sunday.
Not even be as close to, you know, reaching All-Star status. You just
but they get to share the floor with them,
and you get to share the floor with them is a bit of a concern. But, you know, flip side to that coin, you look at the performance that you saw from the NBA players who were All-Stars, like Steph Curry's, Kyrie Irving's. They were going at them dudes. They're like, y'all did not earn this spot, bro, and we're gonna make sure that y'all dudes do not win this game.
Y'all out of here early.
You saw the competitiveness, you know, the effervescence rise above, and you saw those guys come out and play and give us a good performance. Now it was a good game. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, I'm with Draymond from that perspective. But in terms of saying that it was trash, I wouldn't go as far as to, you know, those are great lengths to try to trash the game.
Like to me, I got my running cap here on because I'm running out all of the dumb things all of these players about the game. You know, it's like, bro, it's like it's crazy. Like the one thing, and this is why the NFL brand is so strong. Hey, you know what? Respect the shield. Plain and simple. Respect the shield. I'll be honest. I really liked this format. And I think eventually, because you know what? You know why we had to change the format? Because y'all put up 200 points in a game. That's why we changed it.
Y'all was bullshit.
Not because of the coach, not because of the stadium, not because of the cheerleaders. Hey,
y'all almost scored 300 points in the exhibition game.
A combined total of 400 points, like close to 400 points, bro. You know, Benny the Bull and the gorilla from the Suns player won on the tournament. Then to see y'all play this trash stuff. Bro, this was probably, and I said, you know what? You know what this remind me of? I know y'all don't watch hockey like that, but the Four Nations tournament that's going on in hockey right now is amazing.
Bro, the first 8 minutes, they were snuffing each other.
It's amazing. It's amazing. The USA and Canada,
bro, within the first 8 minutes.
They booed
8 seconds.
The national anthem the whole time. Canada,
that's crazy.
Like, oh, y'all want that kind of smoke?
I mean, we are also going to acknowledge that there's some smoke on the political side.
But
with good reason.
But we're separating. We're coming here for the sport. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, that's what the smoke y'all want. Hey, we're gonna throw hands in the first 9 seconds and with 3 fights. I love it.
Yo, the minute they drop the puck, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. I said, like the NBA format, and you know what? I don't care. You know what? And Draymond could say all of that talk about, oh, they don't deserve to be here. You know what? They gave us good basketball. They came out and they played competitive.
Be like, nigga, you don't deserve to be here.
You don't deserve to be here. You know what I'm saying? So
what you talking about?
Yeah, we are watching, and it said this format eventually is going to go to how they've been talking about for the longest, and they're going to eventually have, you know, the USA versus Canada versus Europe versus whatever. They're going to have the USA. They're going to have to do that because that's the only way, because we got to be honest, bro. Like, the NBA, it's the NBA.
But here's the thing, right?
Let me finish my point.
Okay.
These other guys that come from out of the country and play in the NBA, it's country first. Like, they don't care about. They will dap you up. Hey, bro. Like, hey, great game. That's my guy right there. Nah, come Olympics time, we're not playing that smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So it is going to take away from Olympic competition, but the NBA has to protect their brand because you have to do that. Because and this is the reason why we had to go to this format. So Draymond, don't sit here and talk about it and be bad. Like, are you just trying to do hot takes, or are you trying to be honest about the game, trying to be better? Because bro, I love, as a kid, as we all talked about it, bro, it's nostalgic coming back and watching the NBA All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? It's a great thing. You know, I remember like all of the guys, and it's like you won't always get a chance to play with this level of talent all the time. You know, when you have someone that's like, bro, like, I'll be honest, like, you are essentially my peer. Like, you know, like, I got an NBA team, but I don't have a team of guys that are like superhuman, bro, like at once, playing at once. So I think Draymond just needs to like go to broadcasting and just do some more podcasts with Cowherd, because he can't play in the NBA anymore. I mean, Kuminga taking his spot. I don't know, but he is guy.
But I mean, the point for me is effort, and we saw an elevation to the effort in the game,
right?
Because we saw hungry, rising superstars.
The format conceptually, it worked.
It worked.
And what was the reason that it worked? Ego. Yeah. Right? Because guess what? I'm not gonna let them cook me.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play better basketball, and I'm gonna try to win this game.
Yeah.
And that is the point. And that is the point trying to be driven home to the players, the young guys at this point, is that where is that pride when you're playing against your peers?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that pride when you're playing against the West? You don't want to represent for the East. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't take the younger superstars of the league, or rising stars, or budding superstars, to push you to that point. And you know, I think that the NBA might want to try to give it one more shot at East and West before they permanently change things. But honestly, it also, and another thing really quick, my bad, I'm gonna wrap it up. It diminishes from the personal accomplishments of players that have made first All-NBA for the first time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our Lord and Savior, Jalen Brunson, right? First time starter, played 8 minutes, barely touched the court.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he didn't get any shots off. Why? Because of the current format. Now, does that mean that it diminished from the weekend? No, but he didn't get the chance to shine the way that he should have in a traditional NBA All-Star game format.
Mm-hmm. You know, a couple things with these fixes, you know, especially it was somebody, bro.
We got to talk about this guy right here, though.
LeBron, yeah. I mean, a couple of things. I think Draymond also brought it up too, but it's just like, you know, Jason Tatum put up the most points ever in an All-Star game with 55. Like, in this new format, you can't challenge that. Like, you know, there's a lot of All-Star records that you won't even get to grasp, but I guess that comes with rule changes, right? Format changes. I do think All-Star is a sacred thing. Like, people work very hard. Some people only get here once, right? So to be able to have rising stars come in and to compete, yes, it did, you know, push forward the effort. But at the same time, these players bust their ass to get here. And just having the winner of that challenge on Friday being able to share the floor on Sunday rubs me a little bit the wrong way. You know, you can have
message.
It's their fault. It's their fault.
You got 12 guys on both sides, right? 5 starters, 7 off the bench. You know, all star appearances. That's 24 guys divided by 3 is 8 players per team. Make it 3 teams with just those guys, right? Make it so that you figure out a way one team gets a bye in the first round and the other 2 play each other, and the winner of that goes on to play the third team, right? Make the games to 50. You have NBA teams playing real defense in the regular season and the playoffs, scoring 40 points in a quarter. That is 12 minutes of basketball. How the hell did you make it 40 points for an All-Star game where there is less defense and more three-point shooting? Insane. These breaks. I love the TNT crew. I've watched them for the past 25 years. Faithfully, Thursday nights, we grew up on it. I appreciate the homage to them, especially them being, this is being their last year, doing this as the TNT crew for All-Star Weekend. However, the other breaks, we're breaking at the team that scores that gets to 15 points. We're breaking again when they get to 30 points. And then you got the end of the game. You got halftime performance. You got E40 and Too Short and Saweetie. What audience are you connecting with, NBA? What are we talking about? Legends of the Bay Area. But what type of time are we on? As my shout out Martin Stories, my boy Marley, he's like, yo, the NFL, like, yo, we got Beyonce and Kendrick, and the NBA clap back like, yeah, we got E40, Too Short, and Sweetie. Like, bro, what are we talking about? It's like not even a comparison. So, we got to do better with that. I think I've seen a couple of tweets breaking it down. There was like more commercial and break time than there was actual basketball being played on the court. And I think if we're highlighting basketball on All-Star Sunday, that's a huge problem. But of course, we moving on to Sean's main guy, his GOAT, LeBron James. I say that in jest because Sean is an MJ GOAT aficionado. But of course, LeBron, as did Anthony Edwards as well. But of course, Anthony Edwards is not the face of the league. He hasn't been for the past 22 years.
He's the face of child support.
Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
Shout out the young king.
That's a whole other.
That's a whole.
That's vibe check right there. That's not even. That is vibe check content. We saw a bunch of text messages that were, very crazy. But we're gonna leave that for another segment. But LeBron James allegedly game time decision said he's not playing in the All-Star game. Foot and ankle soreness. Not enough time for, the commissioner and the NBA to pivot and, provide a replacement because they typically do that. Guys, sometimes tend to get hurt a game before or 2 games before All-Star break or, they get hurt right after they get the nod. So, it gives the NBA enough time to provide a replacement. A lot of people in the social media world were just like, LeBron probably knew that before. Foot and ankle soreness just doesn't go away. You flew to the Bay Area. It gets worse on the plane with the altitude and the elevation. So you knew it would be a bother. Could have said something before. My first reaction was, it's All-Star Weekend. Fans do come to see the stars. They come to see LeBron, Steph, KD. There is a possibility that he really tried, like, all right, let me try to go, even if I'm out there for 5 minutes, because it's what the fans want to see. But, a lot of people saying, it's probably not the case. He probably knew about that. So he should have said something earlier. My biggest gripe is him being in street clothes, taking the team photo. Like, bro, you could have just got dressed, bro. Your jersey is literally right there. There's nothing wrong. You could have changed back into street clothes to be on the court by the performances, to be on the bench. Fine, but you could have just put the jersey on for the photos. Like, it felt like he was above the festivities, or he was like above the whole situation. Maybe he was over it. I don't know what's happening. Maybe he didn't think about it. I don't know. But LeBron is typically a guy who's very calculated, so it felt like it was more than that. Kendrick Perkins, on First Take earlier today, alluded to there being, a message being sent to the league. I don't know if I can take it that far because I don't even know what that message would be. How can you send a message to the league by shunning them on their biggest weekend of the year? I don't know how that gives you leverage in anything. However, Kendrick Perkins, I guess he's more locked in than me. He played in the NBA. He knows the locker rooms, the coaches, the players. So, I guess little credence to what being said. But Sean, I know you had a big gripe with LeBron, being out this weekend. Anthony Edwards as well. There were 2 conflicting reports. One said Anthony Edwards was out with an illness because he had a cold, and the other one said he out with a sore groin. So which one is it? So it again goes to speaking to that precedent of, oh, this motherfucker ain't doing it. No, I'm not playing either. I got soreness now. But you're there and you're able to enjoy the rest of the festivities for the weekend. But Sean, what do you think about LeBron's whole situation going on Sunday?
LeBron James is wrong when Shannon Sharp does not come to his defense, but gets on the pulpit and starts talking about how he should have said something, because like what you mentioned, when you're on the plane, high altitude, blood, the blood
circulation.
rises on, blood rises, circulation. You got issues, and then the swelling, it gets more prevalent. So
maybe
I feel
that's
like
why
LeBron
people go in the Mile High Club. Anyway,
that's another thing. You get bricked up crazy, bro. Pause. But but LeBron James, he's 40 years old. He's into personal fitness, the maintenance of his body. He takes it seriously. So when you see LeBron James,
oh boy.
Oh no, Walmart University internet attacking us again.
No.
I can hear y'all just fine.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we good?
You need to repeat that.
I said that LeBron James is very in tune with his body and understands, you know what I'm saying? Like how much money that he spent. It's already been publicized how much money he spends on his body, right? So for somebody like LeBron James to say, I wasn't sure if I would be able to go and show up an hour late to the game. I mean, Kendrick Perkins is all in his right mind to say what he said. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we don't know what actually happened, but it would have been the right thing, the humane thing for LeBron James to do is step out of the competition, know that his body is more important in the long run rather than playing in this game and holding that roster spot hostage, where you could have seen somebody else play. I know we were talking about this earlier, FJB, where who really wants to see Norman Powell hoop? You know what I'm saying?
Like it sounds good in theory because someone deserving could have got the spot, but we weren't here all sad because we didn't get to see Norman Powell. Like, cut it out.
But the correct thing to have done is give someone a first time opportunity to be able to play on the squad. They were down it was only 7 players in rotation. So guys were playing more minutes than they should have. In addition to that, it was just an overall selfish move on the part of LeBron James, which we don't. Yeah, it was a bad move. It was a bad look, and let's not even get started on Ant. Like he was there up until the beginning of the game, and then he decided to be a late scratch. And he's already been well documented saying that he don't give a damn about the dunk contest, the All-Star game, and then for him not to participate, is very egregious. So I mean, bro, it's not a good look, man. Not a good look for the league.
It's as if LeBron is just telling, like, you know what? I'm at this point where I really don't care. I'm going to show it. I
mean, at year 22, I almost kind of don't blame him.
Yeah,
he don't care about it, but he has nothing left to prove on that weekend. So.
Nothing, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is the mentality. Like, and you purport to be just this calculated guy that knows about the game. You're a savant, man. You know about it. You know the ins and outs of it. Forget about Norman Powell. There could have been other people. There's 2 other people that could have been there. And it said, like, it's more along the, and I'm gonna keep hammering this home, man. It's like, do you respect the Shield, man? Do you respect the fans? Like you gotta understand, man. Like, and when the fans say, like, we're done and we're fed up, that's a very bad spot to be in. And the NBA, they're trying to keep themselves, as far as it goes, like, relevant.
You bring up a critical point, because we're not in the we shall overcome phase for the NBA anymore.
No.
We're at the peak. We're at the precipice of player prioritization when it comes to contracts, when it comes to maintenance, when it comes to back-to-backs, when it comes to overall player weightedness against franchises. Even the league as a whole, they have a bigger say. So when you have things that happen like this, all you're doing is putting
I bet you this. I bet you if Bronny was Norman Powell, he'd have been like, man, I really don't like the fact that you did that, and you took Bronny in the chance. Bronny had the chance to be That's what I'm saying, bro. Like
he'd have been playing. He'd have been playing. He'd have been playing.
Like LeBron. We respect you. We love you. You so whack sometimes, man. Like,
I guess he can't be cool all the time, right? Like, everybody got to have some whack
You're
moments.
corny for that, man. That's all it is. Like,
but
and
listen,
me. I'm a LeBron. I love LeBron, bro. But I won't wear his sneakers. But I mean, hey, I love LeBron. I think he's cool.
Oh, you gotta get them 8s. You gotta get them 8s. Them 8s is crack, bro. You gotta get them 8s. I got 3 pairs. Mwah. Chef's kiss.
I got LeBron's, bro.
A lot went down this
It's
weekend.
probably only one that I'll buy. I forgot the one that I'll buy. It was only one.
A lot went down this weekend. Overall, a lot of fixes that could be made. Maybe a step in the right direction from the players in terms of their effort. Couple of tweaks to the format. Maybe go back to East-West. But players, please keep the effort. That's what we want to see. Like, fuck all the other shit. We want to see you compete.
Keep it up.
Plain and simple. But fellas, All-Star break is over. We are now in the home stretch. We've been thinking about it for the Knicks for the longest. And, of course, all these other teams starting to rile up at this point in the season. Before, I feel like the All-Star break used to be a little bit more around like the 41, 42 game mark. But at this point, every team has played over 50 games in the season. We got the following standings for play-in spots. East, you got Orlando in 7th, Atlanta in 8th, Miami in 9th, and Chicago in 10th. Out west, you got Minnesota in 7th, Dallas in 8th, Sacramento in 9th, and Golden State in 10th. As usual, as we've seen with the 7 through 10 play-in spots every season, there is a huge log jam. A lot of teams are clamoring for 7 or 8, so they only need to win one game to solidify their playoff appearance. Others are going to have to scrap and win 2 games. But out those teams mentioned, Darnell, who is best poised to make a run at possibly even getting the 6th seed and an automatic playoff bid?
East or West?
Both conference. Out of all of the teams, all 8 teams.
I would say this. I don't know. I might sound kind of weird for this. I think between like Atlanta and a healthier Orlando team, because Orlando beginning of the season they were actually pretty solid. Like, we got to be honest, man. They were playing hard. They had injuries just hit them hard. But Atlanta, man, I think as much as we don't admit it, Atlanta just got something where they just know how to play, man. I just don't know what it is, but the fact that they beat Cleveland and they beat Boston and they got us, so I mean, that's just me. That's my personal opinion. I might be a little off base, but those 2 for me, and I'll just stick with that East for that, and then I'll go from there.
Sean?
I like Golden State.
Me too.
I like Golden State.
Yeah.
And you know something, you brought up an excellent point, but I feel like with Orlando, they've struggled. They've kind of like showed what both teams could look like if they had different leading men, right? Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero, they both missed.
They
time,
came back,
right?
But
but they both missed time, and we both seen the best rendition of those of that version of the Orlando Magic team with either guy leading both squads, right? And now that they're back together, they can't figure it out. So it kind of makes you question whether or not they can play together, as we've seen thus far. But I think that could be some interesting trade developments in years to come. Can these guys play with each other? But back to my original point, I like Golden State. Draymond Green this weekend.
Oh my Lord! Don't even
listen. Back to the homie Draymond.
He did.
Listen, he jumped out the window. He said we can win the championship.
No, he said we will. He didn't say we can.
We will win the championship.
He said we I think we can, and then he said I apologize. I said I think we can. He said we will win the championship.
Yeah. And then Steph, is like he was kind of tongue in cheek. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, Draymond said that, but I feel like we have a chance. You know what I mean? And sometimes all you need as a player, we've seen this in sports before, is belief, having an attitude that we can win, and having somebody like a Jimmy Butler is an anchor piece between those players. And let's not forget that Kuminga's been out. And when Kuminga comes back and he's alongside Draymond and Jimmy Butler, there's going to be more spacing on the floor.
Yeah, that's different.
Right. And they're gonna be able to do some real damage. I mean, defensively, you still wonder whether or not they'll be able to stop teams. But with the addition of Kuminga, and then you have Draymond in the lineup,
you're gonna have Kuminga, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler at the 2, 3, and 4. I mean,
with Kevon Looney at the 5.
Yeah, or post. They're shooting big. He could really shoot that thing.
Stretch the floor.
But I agree with you though. Like, one thing my boy pointed out to me, shout out Elijah, he's just like, yo, Super Warriors fan, but he's like, yo, we've never had someone that can consistently get to the free throw line, and Jimmy Butler literally fills that hole. Like, he will.
Wait, you said
you.
Elijah's a Golden State
Warriors fan. Yeah. But, they haven't had someone that can consistently get to the free throw line, and Jimmy Butler literally brings that aspect. Although not to mention Jimmy can handle, Jimmy could pass. He's not a great 3-point shooter, but he'll gonna get to the free throw line. He'll make them when it counts, right? But I just like the makeup of that team with Kuminga coming back. I feel like they're trending up while everyone else is trending down. I appreciate Darnell's point about Atlanta. They always play us well, but Jalen Johnson is out for the year, and they did trade away Bogdanovich. Yeah. So and Hunter. Granted they got back. They get back Karis LeVert, right? So
and LeVert has been a nice punch off.
He's been a nice punch. I'm just wondering.
He always will be.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if they're really trending up. Time's going to remain to be seen what Andrew Wiggins does and how he integrates with Miami. Not necessarily sure they're trending up. They might just be neutral. Orlando, right now 3.5 games back of Detroit.
They're on the bubble.
They're right there. It's possible.
I was gonna say not just my bad. Didn't mean to interrupt, but I like Detroit being on the bubble. Like, I like Detroit because they've gotten better as the season's going on defensively, not offensively, because we knew that they had guys that could fill it up. But defensively, they've been able to be better on that side of the ball, and we're seeing more consistent basketball. They've been in some really good teams now.
Yeah. Chicago 22-33, 11 games under 500. They're not. There's nothing really to say there.
I think the Billy Donovan experiment needs to end, man. It's been too much.
Yeah.
It's the same exact. It's the same.
But he hasn't had consistency though.
They need a roster. Lonzo's been out for 2 years. They been a lot.
They need to just, dude. I don't know what their love affair with Zach LaVine was for all of those years, but obviously, like. They hung on to that guy for dear life, bro.
LaVine was often hurt. Kobe White took a while to come into his own. He's now a player. Traded
that's
away
the reason
Zach
why.
LaVine, traded away, DeMar DeRozan left in free agency. Traded away Lauri Markkanen. Lonzo injured for 2 years. There's been just so much influx with the roster that there's not much Billy Donovan could have done. But with that same breath, time is up. Probably need a new voice and just a new direction for the franchise overall. Minnesota, 7th in the West, 6 games over 500, which is impressive based off of the way they started the season. They hovered around 500 for a while, being under by 2 games, so on and so forth. But Julius Randle is hurt right now. Not sure Minnesota's trending up. They're probably just...
No comment.
Yeah, Dallas, we all seen what happened.
Don't even talk about it.
The insane Luka trade, and y'all go check out that video. We reacted to that Luka trade, the big one of, if not the biggest trade in NBA history. 4 games over 500, but Anthony Davis out at least a month, with that groin injury.
All their bigs out. Lively.
Dan Gafford is out. Lively will be back probably until end of March, maybe April. So, I don't even know what that team's going to look like. And then Sacramento, trading away De'Aaron Fox, getting Zach LaVine, a little bit neutral. I just feel like Golden State is going to be on the rise there, so those teams gotta watch out. But boys, it's going to be a fun stretch to close the season. Our Knicks are 3.5 games back of Boston for the 2nd seed. I don't know that we catch them. We're also 5.5 games above Indiana for the 3rd seed. So it feels like if everything holds up, who knows who we're going to be matched up with in the first round. As of right now, we'd be playing Detroit, who is 3.5 games up of Orlando. And then, if we anticipate everything working out to how we expect, we'll be seeing Boston starting the playoffs on the road in the 2nd round this year. And we've seen what they did to us in 2 matchups. So I don't know.
Listen, we'll be a different basketball team. Okay, we're gonna get back Mitch.
Hopefully, Mitch, we get back. OG will be back. Listen,
OG will be back.
I'll put our healthiest 5 up against anybody. Let's say that.
Yeah, we'll see how we run the table. But the concern right now, as you know what. To you, Darnell. I'll let you tell us.
Yeah, Darnell, please just don't have a
close us out. Close us out, Darnell.
Before, because I see it on his face already. Knicks ain't even playing, but he's already he's already about to react.
No. I think we'll finish at the 3. I feel we'll finish it. I think when this team is healthy and Mitch coming back they said maybe the end of February, maybe early March.
He might be back a little bit before that. I feel like he needs. Give him like 18 games before the playoffs to
give him the reps.
Get himself back.
Give him the reps. I just, and I mean, I say it. There's like 3 teams that the Knicks just don't match up good against, and all 3 of the teams are the first, second, and third wave of the Boston Celtics. Like, it's just, we don't match up good against the starters.
And you know what's wild is I feel like we beat Cleveland. I like this whole regular season stuff is cute, but like if we matched up with them in the playoffs, I feel like we beat them. We've only played them once this season where we were up 13 points, and Garland went ballistic in the fourth.
And then that's just really what it is, man. It comes back to it, like Tibbs. He had the first half of the season. He knows what kind of team he has. You know what I'm saying? Like if we know what kind of team he has, if he doesn't, then we ain't gonna help him. Nobody can help you. Like, we know what kind of team you got, right? So, hoping for, I guess, DeLon Wright to come and play some really big minutes. Good job, Leon. And hoping for Dadier.
Yo, is this where we're at right now? That we're looking for some bench production wherever we can find it, and we're looking at DeLon Wright, who's average
but I'll be honest, I think they're banking really.
Who shoots like 20%? Dude, he shoots 20% from the field. I know that, right?
They're banking really heavy on Landry Shamet, and they really like what they got out of campaign. And Precious has been.
He's been hooping. Precious been hooping.
More than serviceable.
Yeah, more than serviceable.
Although Jason Tatum took his ankles off and ripped it off and threw it in the crowd. But, he's been hooping outside of that.
He didn't throw it down 34th Street. He threw it down in Rockefeller Center, and it was on ice skates.
Bro.
Yo, that's what his ankles are. They're still skating in Rockefeller Center right now.
He punted that shit, twin, out the stadium, bro.
You're right. It was gone. It was gone.
And then banged it on him,
But
what can you do?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you match up again, if the Knicks are able by some stretch of imagination, man, to beat Boston and get to the NBA, the Eastern Conference Finals, I think that will be a huge accomplishment for the team. Because as far as what happens in the offseason, we don't know, right? But it's just, dude, it's the Boston thing, man. They just it's like I said, they just got another gear when they play against us, bro. Like where was this energy when y'all were losing to Atlanta and y'all were losing to
shout out to Mr. Maneuvers, right? Because he said it in the chat a couple nights ago that they go super hard when they play the Knicks because everybody in media, everybody
has said that we were built to beat them.
So guess what? We get their best every time we play them. But they haven't seen our best yet. You know what I'm saying? At least our best brand of basketball that we could play.
The best.
In the words of the great Mike Tyson, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. So hopefully, come playoff time, we can punch Boston in the mouth and see what happens. The vibes are ready. But, second half of the season to come. Good luck to everyone's team. Not more luck than ours, but you know what to do every single time. Like, follow, subscribe, hit the comments, Blue Sky, X, Instagram, TikTok. TikTok is back in the Apple Store. It's back in the Apple Store. Go on that. Hit us with a follow. But appreciate y'all. We're going to be back with some more content later in the week. It's a lot of vibe check stuff for us to get into. The cartel, what are your bins? I beat them bad. Vibes Cartel in the U.S.
World boss.
SSS4U, Drake, PND. We got a bunch of stuff coming your way, so stay tuned for the next episode. You heard?
Hey, God bless y'all team, but bless my team even more.